We are on part 6 now. Let's see, where did we leave off? We had made our tag book, we had decorated this pocket, and then I said in this part we would be doing this flap over here. So that is what we're going to do first. And real quick, I will show you which papers and files we will be using for that. Okay, I will be using a book page that I have already torn and inked up that fits roughly about half of my page there. And I chose a page out of a gardening book because that seemed like that was well suited for what we're doing. Okay, to do your pockets just like mine, you're going to need file Nature Remedies 12. And so that is the 2 pockets and the 2 tags. Okay, Nature Remedies 12. I will make sure I put these in the description box below the video. And on this, I did the same as the others, and I printed Nature Remedies 5 on the back side. Okay. I used this square tag here. I think it's a clover or nope, garlic. I used that little square one, and it is from Nature Remedies 19. And then the other stuff is I just put in the folder pieces for storage to put in the journal. So this is the only one I used in the construction. Okay, then I used the marjoram ticket, which is on Nature Remedies 14. And we'll be using the rest of these in our book. Okay, so the garlic, the marjoram, the 2 pockets, the 2 tags, and then I used the word herbalist, which should be left over from when we printed Nature Remedies 16. Okay, so that was Nature Remedies 14, 16, 19, and 12. I'm writing those down. 14, 16, 19, and 12, and all have Nature Remedies 5 printed on the back. Okay, and you'll be using the other parts and pieces on those pages. And then I also had some spare butterflies from where I had printed too many of this and too many of that and so on. So I had a spare butterfly. But if you don't want to have to print out a separate page just so you can have a butterfly or 2 for your tag and your embellishing there, there are these little stamps right here on Nature Remedies 18 that we had already used quite a bit off of this sheet. So those stamps would be really nice there too. So that's what I'm going to do on mine. I'm going to use that stamp there off of Nature Remedies 18. Okay, enough of that. So I have my book page, and I'm going to stagger my pockets, and because I have a little bit of my book page peeking out, I thought it'd be kind of neat to have the butterflies on there. So that's how I did that. So I'm just taking my medium-sized butterfly stamp here. And I have an acrylic block, but a little trick if you don't have an acrylic block or can't get your hand on one, the lid to your stamp pad works just fine for doing the same thing as your acrylic block does for holding your little rubber stamp, okay? And it works just fine to do that. See? Of course, you can't see, but you know, if you don't really care where you're placing something, it works just fine. So I have heard some people, you know, they don't always have access to those kind of crafting supplies. There we go. I think that's all that will show. Whoopsie. Throwing things. Throwing things. I'll wash that off later. Or wipe it off later, I mean. Okay, let me bring this back into focus. I'm going to glue this down. And so what we're going to be doing next is cutting out those 2 pockets right here and the 2 matching tags. So that is what we are going to be doing next. So if you want to get a head start on me, it is Nature Remedies page 12, the 2 pockets and the 2 tags. I'm going to glue this on. I'm going to cut out those 2 pockets and those 2 tags. I'm going to ink them up, and then I'll come back, okay? All right, be right back. Okay, so these are all cut out, and I've inked up the tags. So real quick, if you have a little hole punch, you can use that, or you can cut these little thumb notches or notches out yourself. But if you have a circle punch, excuse me, not a hole punch, a circle punch, should be able to line that right up there and punch that out, and it will be more precise than trying to cut it by hand. But if you don't have a circle punch, you can just cut that by hand. And they've done such a great job of inking these on the digital that I really don't need to ink them. So one more thing, we need to fold the lines on our pockets. So these are the tabs where we glue them on. It's very handy that they include those on their digitals, Tracie and Andrea. Okay, so I have a scoreboard, but it's kind of big. There's really no need to get it out. If you line up your ruler with where you want to score, and then you can score using a little stylus like this, or a bone folder will work just fine. Or the other thing you can do is if you have like a mechanical pencil or an ink pen that you don't have the ink, you know, if you click it to where the ink's not out, you can just run that down the edge of the ruler. It'll pretty much do the same thing as your scoreboard. You just don't want to do it too hard, but you can even do it too hard on a scoreboard too. So just do that, all 3 sides. Okay. Then we're just going to fold them on our score lines. Okay, there we are. You can touch up the ink just a little bit if you want to. Not really much needed there. Okay, let me bring my other one back into focus again. Okay, so this one I had down here in the corner, and I sort of just left myself, oh, I don't know, about a ½ inch on the side and on the bottom. So I'm going to glue that down there, and then I'm going to do the same thing up here. I left myself about a ½ inch on the top, right there. Oops, right there, and about a ½ inch on the side. So that will be where I'm going to glue mine down. You can glue yours wherever you'd like to. Okay, I'm going to glue those off camera. The other thing I'm going to do is I did cut a little small piece of sari silk and I stapled it on, because when you're doing little tags like this, you don't have to hole punch and tie one on for every single thing. So I like to utilize a little stapler sometimes. Lost my little piece of sari silk. There it is. I just fold it in half. And then I have one of these little mini staplers. Those work great, or a regular stapler. Or you can punch a hole and tie it on, whatever you want to do. Okay, and I'm going to put those in the pockets after I glue them on. And then when I come back, we'll do this part. Okay, so my pockets are glued on and my tags are in my pockets. So now let's embellish this little corner down here. Let's see, I am going to use that little garlic picture from Nature Remedies 19. And yeah, And then the marjoram tag, that was on Nature Remedies 14. And I'm just telling you what I'm using in case you want to follow along exactly. But you embellish this however you want to. So these little tickets, sometimes get the corners, just stick them in your little circle punch and snip the little corners off. And there we go. That looks great. And then I had the word herbalist. That was over on Nature Remedies 16. Okay. Had those three, and then I said I was using that little ticket off of something we had earlier. I don't even remember now. That was something we already had printed off. Oh, it was off of Nature Remedies 18, the page with the tabs, and we'd used a bunch off of it. So I'm using one of those little stamps because I don't have any more butterflies. So I'm going to ink these up and glue them on. I am hoping we can get this wrapped up in this video, maybe. Because we were on the 6th part now, right? Yeah. I think that is enough parts. Okay, there we go. And you just sort of lay this out the way I want it to go. Last time I had it like this. Doesn't mean it has to go that way this time, does it? I think I kind of like it better like that. And then this is going to go down here. And that's going to kind of go like that. And yes, a butterfly would probably look better right there. But I wasn't going to go print off more unnecessary pages. So in this instance, I am going to kind of glue this from the top down. So I can kind of grab it like that, lift it up. There we go. Lift it up again, and I'll put glue all over it this time. Kind of heavy because I do have that fabric right there. Just a little scrap of fabric that I've frayed the edges out on. I'm going to want it to lay just like that. I'm going to pick it up one more time, and this time I'm going to put glue only where there is something on the back, so you can hold it up to the light if you need to see the shadow of where your papers are on the other side. That way your glue doesn't seep through. Okay. Just like so. And then if I want to glue just these edges down, I'm just going to put just a little spot of glue, and I just kind of rub it around just a little bit, just enough to make that stick, but not seep through the fabric. Just like that. Just enough to hold it. Okay, so there is the flap done. All right, I'm going to get everything prepped for the next thing and be right back. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, let me show you in the prototype journal. There's this little tag right here. It's in the kit. It says journal, and it is from the file Nature Remedies 10. Okay, so what I did is I took the one that says journal. I think there's one that says journal and two are blank, but I took that one and I put it on the first signature in my book. So that way it's, you know, kind of a label, journal. Then I took one of the blank ones and put it on the next signature. And I did the other blank one on the next signature. But while I was printing these, I printed out a few extras so that I could also put them on my file folders. So I only put the blank ones on my file folders. And I backed them with some book page from that gardening book that I had. So I tore some pages, or tore some little sections off my book, inked them up, and then took my little hole punch and punched right there. And then I have some little brads. Little tiny things. And the book page helped. Oop, darn. I glued it on there first. Got ahead of myself. There we go. It doesn't take very much glue. All right. Put that back on there. Try to not get ahead of myself again. All right. The book page, what it helped do was strengthen up the little label. And then it also gave me a place to fold my tabs down on my brads. So it looks more realistic, you know, if you have the real metal brads, but I didn't want them punched. I didn't want to punch holes through my paper. So that's going to go, well, that one I want to be the one that says journal in the front. So I have that one for that. So this is going to go right here. And I'm going to do that again for the next signature, and I'm going to do it for all 3 folders. And then the one in the front, I am using the word journal for. I'm going to do it the same exact way, and it's going to go on the front. Okay? And then I'll be right back. Okay, so all the labels are on my signatures here and on the folders. And so the next part we're going to do is embellish this pocket down here at the bottom. I have some book page right here that I have inked up out of that same book I've been using. And we are almost done. Okay. I went ahead and cut this out. This was from the Nature Remedies 18 page. We'd already used some pieces off of that. And then this is the chamomile tag. I think 17, I think was what that was from. We've already used parts of it. And then there's a little stamp from the Nature Remedies 18. So I went ahead and cut those off so that they are ready to go. Put a little bit of glue down here, and I'm just going to smear it around so it won't soak through my fabric. And let's put this one down. And I'll make sure I put all those file names in the description box below so you know everything that was printed. And on the original, I used a butterfly down here, but like I said earlier, I didn't want to print out a bunch of extra things, and I didn't use the stamps, so we might as well add one here. Let's maybe tuck that under. Yeah, like that. Then I also had a little piece of trim that I think I want to add down here at the bottom. Got a little wild with my glue. Okay, then let's see. In the back pocket back here, I had these 3 cards. These were on pages we've already used. Nature Remedies 17. And so I just had those 3 tucked in the back. Okay, and then I had 2 envelopes tucked here in this spot. They were from Nature Remedies page 13, and Nature Remedies page 14, and both had page 5 printed on the back. This one I have already scored and folded and inked, and I already have it glued in, and I have a little piece of paper in it. So I'm going to go ahead and tuck that one in, get it out of the way. Carmen's chomping on her ball over there. Okay, and the little piece of paper that I had tucked inside the envelope was a page from the kit. It was one of the plain pages, but it has these little butterflies kind of watermarked in the back. So I thought that was really pretty, and then I used that butterfly stamp from earlier to put a little butterfly down here in the bottom. So I have one of these tucked in that other envelope, and I'm going to put this one in this envelope. So this is the last one. Oh, I missed this little tiny piece. That was on page Nature Remedies 17. And it was another page we'd already used a bunch of things off of. It was the little label that said parts used, the leaves only. I think that's what it says. The writing's really tiny. And I just had that down there. Okay. Let's score this envelope. And I'm just using my ruler and my stylus again so I don't have to get out my big scoreboard. This is a great way to do this if you don't have a scoreboard. I'm just following the lines that were on the envelope. Again, if you don't have even a stylus, just anything will work to run down the edge of a ruler. You can even use a fingernail, just kind of making a little fold line, okay? Let's fold on all those lines. Okay. Now the one thing I did on the envelopes is I did take my hole punch and I made a little tab or a little notch right there. So let me mark center. Open this back up. And using my hole punch, I'm just going to put a little bit of a notch in, and that will assist us when we're pulling our papers in and out of the envelope. Let's put some glue on the folds. Okay, and if a little bit overhangs, it's really easy just to trim that off with your scissors. Ink this up a little bit. I think Carmen's going to pop her ball over there. Already has popped her ball. There. Doesn't take much. And then here's our little sheet of paper we already have folded and inked. Place that right inside our pocket. And we are done. So we just have to put away our extras. We're going to use these when we write in our journal or decorate our journal. We'll have these little tags and all these little extras from things we printed out. So let's just put some of these away. Let's see, I'll put the tags there. I'll stick these little postcards in this one. You can organize yours however you'd like. There's some tabs. I'll put this tag up here with these. And yeah, I have all kinds of goodies left over. So I'm going to put these all away in my folders. And hey, that's a wrap. So thanks for joining me with this project. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you want, we can take one more quick look at it. Here's the cover. We had our tag book in the front. Here's our signatures. We had our folders, the pockets we just finished. We had this notepad here, so if you've missed any of the parts, you can go back and watch all of these. I will have them all in a playlist for you so they're easy to find. One quick tip on folding this thing up. You can either fold all the folders forward and then all the signatures and close it up that way, or you can even stagger them. So one folder and then your signature and so on. However, it's easier for your book to close up, okay? Depending on how much stuff you have stored in it. All right, we're gonna wrap this around, tuck that in, and we are done. Okay, if you made one of these, make sure you tag me over on Instagram or post it on my BookVandalShop Facebook page. I'd really love to see what you've made. If you have a YouTube video showing yours, make sure that you let me know, message me, because I would love to watch it. So I hope you enjoyed this series. Make sure you go back and watch all the parts. Thanks for watching. Take care. Be safe. Happy crafting. Bye-bye.